Welcome to the beginning of a new year, and with it, the endless opportunity for transformation. You are not defined by the past, nor are you destined to remain in the same patterns and habits that have shaped your previous years. In fact, to truly transform yourself in 2025, you must first learn the art of disappearing from the constraints of your old identity and stepping into a new version of yourself. The power of the present moment is often underestimated. We are all conditioned to think about the past, dwell on what was, and constantly worry about the future. But real transformation happens when we stop living in these two places, the past and the future, and start focusing on the now. It is in the present moment that true change takes place. And it is in this moment that you have the ability to transform your life completely. The present moment is where you can access infinite potential. This is where the new version of yourself is born. But to experience that, you need to free yourself from the gravitational pull of the past. Many people are unaware that their thoughts, beliefs, and feelings are often rooted in past experiences. We become so attached to these memories, whether good or bad, that they unconsciously dictate our behavior. We might find ourselves repeating the same patterns of thoughts or reacting in the same ways to certain triggers, believing that these are our normal responses. The reality is, these reactions are the result of old programming, the remnants of past experiences that have become ingrained in the very way we perceive ourselves and the world around us. If you constantly think about past mistakes, failures, or disappointments, you are holding on to a version of yourself that no longer exists. When you bring these past memories into your present moment, you are emotionally tying yourself to them. You are reinforcing an identity that is outdated and limiting. Similarly, when you dwell on the future, often filled with uncertainty, fear, and expectations, you allow these projections to shape your emotional state and even your reality. The mind becomes distracted, clouded by future possibilities that have not yet happened, while the body is constantly reacting to these thoughts and emotions as though they were happening right now. The key to transforming your life lies in the ability to stop living through your memories or your projections and instead start living in the present. The present moment is where you hold the most power because it is the only time where real change can occur. You cannot change what has already happened, nor can you control what has not yet occurred, but you can decide how you will respond to the present moment. It is in the present that you have the power to choose your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. It is where you can decide to act from a place of self-awareness, free from the influence of the past. When you shift your focus to the present moment, you begin to realize that the past is not who you are. It is a collection of experiences that are no longer relevant unless you allow them to be. By living in the now, you begin to detach from old narratives that no longer serve you. This is the process of breaking free from your conditioned self, the version of you that has been defined by past experiences and learned behaviors. It's in the present moment that you can choose to dissolve these old identities and step into a new one that is aligned with your true potential and your highest vision of who you can become. The brain itself is incredibly responsive to the present moment. Neuroscience has shown us that every thought we think and every experience we have rewires our brain, creating new neural pathways. However, most people are unaware that they are reinforcing old, automatic patterns of thought every time they react to life in the same way. These neural pathways become ingrained, making it more difficult to break free from past behaviors. But when you choose to focus on the present moment, to truly experience it with mindfulness and awareness, you interrupt these old patterns and create the space for new neural pathways to form. Living in the present moment does not mean you disregard the past entirely. It means you no longer allow the past to control you or dictate your actions. It means you acknowledge the lessons from your experiences, but you no longer let them shape who you are. It's about moving forward, not looking back. When you focus on the present, you stop reliving the emotions tied to past memories, and instead you choose how you want to feel in the moment. You stop reliving old stories and start writing a new one. In this space of awareness, you find freedom, the freedom to be whoever you choose to be in that moment. The present moment is also where the energy of transformation resides. When you let go of the past and stop worrying about the future, you align yourself with the energy of possibility. This is where the magic happens. You can begin to feel the change in your body, in your emotions, in your energy field. When you stop projecting your thoughts into the past or future, you become fully present in your own energy. and this energy becomes the catalyst for transformation. By focusing on the now, you set the stage for new possibilities, new opportunities, and new versions of yourself to emerge. In the end, the power of the present moment is your gateway to transformation. It is where you can free yourself from the chains of past conditioning and future anxieties. By choosing to live in the present, you open yourself up to a world of infinite potential and growth. You become the creator of your reality rather than a prisoner of your past. It is in the present that you can truly disappear from the old version of yourself and step into the life you were always meant to live. The process of transformation is not just about changing your actions or external circumstances, it is fundamentally a change within the brain itself. Neuroscience has shown that the brain is an incredibly malleable organ, capable of forming new neural pathways at any stage in life. This is referred to as neuroplasticity, and it is the foundation of lasting personal change. In essence, the brain rewires itself based on the thoughts we think, the emotions we experience, and the actions we take. This concept is crucial to understand because if we are to transform ourselves, we must first recognize that we have the ability to change the structure and function of our own brains. Every time you think a thought, it triggers a cascade of electrical and chemical activity in the brain. This activity strengthens existing neural connections, or in some cases creates new ones. The more you repeat a particular thought, feeling, or behavior, the stronger these neural connections become. This is why habits, whether positive or negative, are so hard to break. Our brains are wired to repeat patterns that have been established over time. In fact, for most people, the majority of their daily thoughts are habitual, and many of those thoughts are negative based on fear, worry, and past experiences. When you live this way, your brain remains stuck in a cycle that reinforces the same limiting beliefs and behaviors. However, the key to true transformation lies in understanding that we are not bound by these neural patterns. The brain can form new pathways, and it is in the ability to consciously create new ways of thinking and behaving that we find our power. When you choose to focus on new, empowering thoughts, ones that are aligned with your goals and the person you want to become, you begin to create new neural connections. These new pathways replace the old, habitual ways of thinking, and over time, they become the dominant patterns in your brain. As a result, your thoughts and behaviors start to shift in alignment with the person you are becoming. But simply thinking new thoughts is not enough. Transformation requires emotional involvement. The brain does not respond to thoughts alone, it also responds to the emotional charge that accompanies those thoughts. When you think a thought that stirs up a strong emotional response, whether it's excitement, joy, gratitude, or love, the brain releases a cocktail of neurochemicals such as dopamine, serotonin, and oxytocin that strengthen the neural connections associated with that thought. These emotional experiences anchor the new neural pathways, making them stronger and more lasting. This is why emotional intensity is a key component of transformation. It's not just about thinking thoughts, it's about embodying those thoughts through powerful, positive emotions. In other words, when you think about your desired transformation and feel the emotion associated with that change, whether it's the excitement of success or the satisfaction of well-being, your brain starts to associate that emotion with the new thought patterns. The emotional charge reinforces the neural pathways, making it more likely that you will act in accordance with the new version of yourself you're trying to create. For instance, if you want to become more confident, you might start by thinking about moments in your life when you felt confident. As you think about these moments, you can evoke the feelings of pride, excitement, and self-assurance that accompany those experiences. Your brain begins to associate these emotions with the thought of being a confident person, and as a result, your brain starts to rewire itself to create the neural pathways that support this new identity. This process is not instantaneous. Just as it took time to form the neural pathways associated with old habits, it will take time to create new ones. The brain needs consistent, repetitive input to make lasting changes. It requires you to continually reinforce the new patterns of thinking and feeling through practice. But with sustained effort, the old patterns begin to fade, and the new pathways become the dominant pathways in your brain. Eventually, the new version of yourself, the one you've consciously worked to create, becomes your default setting. This is the magic of neuroplasticity. You have the ability to reshape your brain and your life, but it requires conscious, consistent effort. One of the most powerful ways to encourage neuroplasticity is through mindfulness and meditation. These practices help you become more aware of your thoughts and emotions, allowing you to intentionally choose the ones that will help you create the changes you desire. Through mindfulness, You can observe the habitual thoughts that keep you stuck in old patterns and consciously decide to replace them with new, empowering thoughts. Meditation can also help you cultivate the emotional energy necessary to anchor these new thoughts in your brain. By regularly engaging in these practices, you create a fertile environment for neuroplasticity, allowing you to rewire your brain in the direction of your transformation. Furthermore, visualization is another powerful tool for reshaping your brain. When you visualize yourself as the person you want to become, you are engaging the brain in a way that is almost identical to actually experiencing the event. Neuroimaging studies have shown that the brain cannot distinguish between vividly imagined experiences and actual events. This means that when you visualize your desired transformation, you are effectively creating new neural pathways that align with that future version of yourself. This is why visualization is such a powerful tool in personal transformation. It allows you to rehearse the change you want to see, priming your brain to make it a reality. In essence, neuroplasticity is the scientific explanation for why transformation is possible. The brain is not fixed, it is constantly adapting, evolving, and rewiring itself based on the thoughts, emotions, and experiences you give it. By consciously directing your thoughts and emotions toward your desired transformation, you can actively reshape your brain and change your life. It all starts with the recognition that you are not a prisoner of your old habits, and with the understanding that the brain has an incredible capacity for change. You have the power to rewrite your story and create a new future by changing the way you think, feel, and act in the present moment. Breaking free from the constraints of your old self is perhaps one of the most profound aspects of personal transformation. Most people are unaware of how strongly their identity is shaped by the past. The beliefs, memories, and experiences that have accumulated over time create a mental framework that defines who they are. This framework, often referred to as the old self, influences the way they see themselves, the choices they make, and how they interact with the world. But the truth is that the old self is not fixed, it's malleable. And it is only by consciously choosing to release it that you can step into a new version of yourself. To begin the process of transformation, you must first understand that your current identity has been formed by years of programming. This programming comes from the messages you've received from your family, society, and your own experiences. As children, we are like sponges, soaking up information from the environment around us, and those early experiences often form the core beliefs we carry into adulthood. These beliefs then shape our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. They form the lens through which we see the world and our place within it. But many of these beliefs are not our own. They are inherited from external influences or created as a response to difficult experiences. As we grow older, these beliefs can become deeply ingrained, creating a sense of identity that feels fixed and unchangeable. However, this identity is not the real you. It's simply a collection of stories, memories, and assumptions that no longer serve you. If you want to transform, you must start by questioning the beliefs that have shaped your self-identity. Are they truly reflective of who you are now, or are they just remnants of your past? Many of the beliefs that define your old self are limiting. They hold you back, keep you stuck, and prevent you from reaching your full potential. These could be beliefs about your worth, your abilities, or your future. For example, you might have grown up believing that you are not good enough, or that success is reserved for others, not for you. These beliefs, even though they might have been true at one point in your life, no longer define the person you have the capacity to become. The key to transformation is to recognize that you are not bound by your past. The first step is to let go of the identity that has been shaped by old experiences. This doesn't mean you forget the lessons of your past, but rather you stop allowing those past experiences to define your future. You have the power to redefine yourself at any moment, regardless of what has happened in your life up until this point. It all starts with the willingness to detach from the old self and embrace the unknown. The process of transformation requires you to become comfortable with uncertainty and to let go of the need for control. The old self is based on the need for certainty. It relies on familiar thoughts, feelings, and behaviors to maintain a sense of security. But transformation can only happen when you are willing to step into the unknown, to release the need for certainty, and to trust that new possibilities exist beyond the limits of your current identity. To facilitate this shift, it is important to develop a new vision of who you want to become. This vision should be based on your highest potential, not on the limitations of your past. Spend time imagining the person you want to be in the future. How do they think? How do they feel? What actions do they take? This new identity should be emotionally charged, as emotions play a crucial role in shaping the neural pathways that will reinforce this new self. The more vividly and emotionally you connect with this new vision, the more you activate the parts of your brain that will support its creation. Over time, as you think and feel in alignment with this new identity, you begin to reshape your neural wiring to reflect this new self. But it's not just about thinking new thoughts, it's about acting as if you are already the person you are. Becoming. This is where the practice of embodying your new self comes into play. Even before you have fully transformed, you must begin to take actions that align with the version of yourself that you desire to be. For example, if you want to be a confident person but currently struggle with self-doubt, you must start acting as though you already have confidence. This doesn't mean pretending to be someone you're not, but rather choosing to behave in ways that align with your desired identity. The more you take actions that reflect your new vision, the more your brain reinforces the neural pathways associated with that identity until eventually your old self fades away and the new version of you becomes your default state. The process of rewiring your brain to support this new self can take time, but it's an ongoing practice. Just as you spent years reinforcing your old identity through thoughts and behaviors, you can. Now begin to rewire your brain by consistently thinking and acting in alignment with your new self. It requires persistence and dedication, but every time you take an action that aligns with your new identity, you are slowly dissolving the old self and creating space for the new. Over time, these new thoughts and behaviors become more natural, and the old patterns lose their power over you. Ultimately, the process of breaking free from the old self requires you to trust the process of transformation and to be patient with yourself. You will encounter moments of doubt, moments when you feel as though the old self is trying to reassert itself. These moments are normal and part of the process. But as you continue to focus on your new vision, align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with the person you want to become, the old self will slowly dissolve. This is not an overnight process, but with consistent effort, you will begin to see changes in your life. The key is to stay focused on your desired transformation and remain committed to the process of rewiring your brain, one thought and action at a time. As you do, you will discover that the person you've always wanted to become was never far from reach. It was always within you, waiting for you to let go of the old and embrace the new. Transformation is not a passive process. It requires a deep and active engagement with your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. The energy you bring into the world has the power to shape your reality, and understanding this energy is key to understanding how transformation occurs. The way you feel about yourself, your circumstances, and the world around you directly influences the reality you experience. The mind-body connection is not just an abstract concept, it is scientifically backed by research showing that your thoughts, beliefs, and emotions have a profound effect on the chemistry of your body, the function of your nervous system, and even your genetic expression. When you choose to step into a higher energy, one that is in alignment with the person you want to become, you begin to literally change the environment around you. Every thought you think and every emotion you feel sends signals throughout your body, which in turn communicates with the greater environment. This is where the law of attraction often comes into play. The energy you emit is the energy you attract. If you are constantly thinking thoughts of lack, fear, or doubt, your body responds by releasing stress hormones like cortisol, and you feel as though you are in survival mode. This creates a feedback loop where your internal state of being dictates how you perceive and interact with the world, reinforcing your belief in the scarcity and limitation that you feel. On the other hand, when you choose to align your energy with positive emotions such as love, gratitude, joy, or excitement, you elevate your vibrational frequency. In this elevated state, your body produces chemicals like dopamine and serotonin that promote feelings of well-being and health. This shift in emotional energy also changes the electromagnetic field of your body, which then interacts with the world around you. The key here is to recognize that your emotions are not just internal experiences, they are energy signals that are constantly radiating outward, influencing your interactions and the opportunities that come your way. This process of aligning your emotional energy with your desired transformation is where the magic happens. The emotions you feel in response to your thoughts and beliefs serve as a powerful tool for manifesting your goals. Emotions are not only a reflection of your inner state, but they are also the catalyst that push you toward the future you want to create. When you experience emotions that are in harmony with the person you are becoming, whether that be through feelings of empowerment, gratitude, or love, you are signaling to your body and mind that this is the state of being you wish to continue living in. Over time, your brain and body will become more attuned to this new emotional frequency, and your actions, relationships, and circumstances will begin to align with the elevated energy you are emitting. But to truly master this process, you must first cultivate self-awareness. Self-awareness is the ability to observe your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors without judgment. It's about becoming the witness of your life, stepping outside of the habitual reactions and patterns that often dictate your reality. Many people live on autopilot, reacting to their environment without ever questioning why they feel a certain way, or why they respond a certain way, or why they respond to certain triggers. But the process of transformation requires you to become the observer of your thoughts and emotions, so you can choose whether or not to engage with them. The more you practice self-awareness, the more you become conscious of the energy you are bringing into the world. And once you recognize the energy you are emitting, you can consciously decide to shift it toward a higher frequency. For instance, if you find yourself slipping into feelings of fear or doubt, you can take a moment to pause, breathe, and recognize that these feelings are a natural part of the human experience. Rather than letting them dictate your actions, you can use this awareness to consciously shift your emotional state. You can choose to replace fear with confidence, doubt with trust, or anxiety with calm. This shift doesn't always happen instantly, and it requires practice, but with consistent effort, you will find that it becomes easier to raise your energy and align it with the version of yourself you want to become. An essential part of this process is learning to let go of the need for external validation. Many people seek approval or reassurance from others in order to feel good about themselves. But this external validation is fleeting. It's not a sustainable source of energy. When you rely on external factors to determine how you feel, you are constantly at the mercy of your environment. True transformation happens when you learn to generate your own emotional energy from within. This means recognizing that your sense of worth and confidence is not dependent on what others think of you, but rather on how you choose to see yourself. When you begin to validate yourself, to choose self-love and acceptance, you shift your energy to one that is grounded in inner peace and security, rather than one that is seeking approval from outside sources. As you practice aligning your energy with the person you want to become, you also begin to notice a shift in your interactions with others. Your elevated energy attracts higher vibrational people, experiences, and opportunities. The relationships you form, the opportunities that present themselves, and the circumstances you encounter are all reflections of the energy you are emitting. This means that when you raise your vibration and shift your emotional state, you create a new environment for yourself, one that aligns with your goals and your vision for your future. You no longer have to chase opportunities or force things to happen. Instead, you begin to magnetize the people, places, and experiences that are in alignment with the energy you are embodying. Furthermore, your thoughts and emotions affect your physical health. When you are in a high vibration state, one that is filled with positivity and excitement, your body responds by releasing chemicals that promote healing, vitality, and well-being. Conversely, when you are stuck in low vibration states such as fear, anger, or resentment, your body responds by releasing stress hormones that can lead to inflammation, disease, and fatigue. By consciously choosing to elevate your emotional energy, you are not only transforming your mental and emotional state, but also your physical health. In conclusion, the energy you carry within you is the key to transformation. Your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs create the energetic field that shapes your reality. By consciously choosing to raise your energy to match the version of yourself you want to become, you begin to attract the opportunities, relationships, and circumstances that will support your growth. The process of transformation is about becoming aware of the energy you are emitting and making a conscious decision to align that energy with your highest potential. As you do so, you'll notice not only an external shift in your life, but also a deep internal transformation, one that allows you to step into a new, empowered version of yourself.